because you said you had a hot take on the Rodgers. You had an epiphany, you said, about
I
Rodgers.
do.
So I want to hear this epiphany.
The epiphany for the Green Bay Packers is that they don't want to trade Aaron Rodgers to the NFC, which makes three teams the clear-cut options to acquire A-Rod. The first team is the New York Jets. The second, quite straightforward, Mike Vrabel's Tennessee Titans. And the third would be the Las Vegas Raiders. Looking at the current rosters, everything that Aaron Rodgers has wanted, everything that he has lacked in the postseason since going to the Super Bowl in 2010 and, doing his thing against my Steelers, as a top five defense, while having a superstar at wide receiver. The Jets are developing one in Garrett Wilson. The kid had over 1,100 yards with arguably the worst quarterback playing football. A top-tier running back in Breece Hall, who's coming off the torn ACL, but Aaron saw himself the damage that Breece can do. And that kid is probably going to be an absolute phenom when he does get healthy in a year and a half from now. And the Jets also have Nathaniel Hackett, Aaron's former OC, who he worked with ad nauseum in the red zone. Where is Aaron great? The red zone. Where were the Broncos stinky this last season? The red zone. Aaron Rodgers is no Russell Wilson. It makes too much sense for Aaron to go to New York because in that market, it wouldn't bother him. New York would have their best quarterback in over 50 years. Joe Namath is willing to give up his number 12 retired number if Aaron goes to New York. And just 1 year of Aaron would be better than the last 50 years. All time, if you take the Jets have been in existence now for up to a century almost, all of those years of quarterback play, and that's including the Hall of Fame career of Joe Namath, would not stack up to 2 years of Aaron Rodgers, even at his worst.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback ever to play for the Jets if he suits up and goes onto that field. He is.
Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback the Packers have ever had. Bart Starr and Brett Favre came before him. So you mean to tell me with Robert Saleh, with 1 year to prove himself as a head coach left, and this top-tier defense, and these emerging receivers, that Aaron wouldn't go to the Super Bowl, or at least the AFC Championship game with this current team? I'm sorry. I know Aaron's name's in the gutter, but I'm telling you guys right now, the New York Jets make too much sense. They're willing to give up 2 first-round picks. They'll have the perfect team, and most importantly, they're in the exact spot where the Packers will like to send him. If Aaron does not retire, which is a possibility, we didn't see with Tom, it could happen with Aaron, I believe, Justin, look me in the eyes. Aaron Rodgers is going to New York, baby. The Jets. I'm excited.
Listen, I think that's the best option for him. I mean, obviously, I think he would love to reunite with Devontae Adams. That'd be the perfect marriage. But as Brandon says, the cap space is unreal. And even though Aaron Rodgers has said he knows that he probably isn't coming back to play on that same number, his contract's going to have to be restructured in some form or fashion. But yeah, the Jets seem like the best option. You mentioned the defense. You mentioned guys like Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, even guys like Elijah Moore who are super talented. Just haven't been in the right offense or had the right guy throwing them the football. This is deja vu. We've had a Green Bay quarterback go to New York, and what started off very well. We laugh about it, but I think people forget that the Jets did start off 8-3 that season with Brett Favre, and if it wasn't for some injuries and off the field issues, they were probably well on their way to going to the playoffs. I believe, before everything went south for the Jets, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, they beat the Patriots, and then I believe the Titans were 10-0 at the time, and they beat the Titans the next week. So the Jets were 8-3, getting ready to go before everything hit the fan. So this Brett Favre experiment wasn't going to be so much of a failure as we think of it today. They finished the season 9-7 before he found his way into Minnesota. So maybe Aaron Rodgers could, right some wrongs about Green Bay quarterbacks coming to New York. Maybe I'm telling you, if he goes to the Jets, this Jets team is probably an 11-12 win squad with him at the helm easily.
Put Jacoby Brissett in New York last year, they're a 12-win squad. You put Aaron Rodgers in New York, they're a 14-win squad. I'm glad they skimped over there the whole Jets starting 8-3 and losing 4 of the last 5 games, missing the playoffs thing because we saw that last season. So you're right about all of that. And you want to know what's even clearer? What's even better? Aaron Rodgers has come out and said he is willing to rework his contract too.
Yeah, but Yeah, yes, he did, but not in the way that you're phrasing it, John. He said he'll rework it,
Talking
but
about void years and all
he's
that.
not
Yeah.
taking less money. That's not how he phrased it. He wants his money. He wants his cake, and he's going to eat it too. In terms of this Jets Rodgers thing, I got to be honest. I have to wait to see it to believe it. Um, I feel like this is kind of very similar to Broncos last year, where they thought they were getting Rodgers. I mean, it's kind of rewriting the same script. Nathaniel Hackett comes in, and you're like, oh, Rodgers is coming. Rodgers. I've seen Jets fan. I know your boy Dells has been tweeting saying I can't get my hopes up and stuff like that. And then your other boy, he's all in. He's saying I'm the Rodgers is the Jets starting quarterback next year. And see, that's where I'm just like, I don't know, man. I really don't, because I don't think any of us can predict what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. He's already come out and said that there's a lot of trade conversations happening, and I'm not involved in them. I haven't even made my decision if I'm going to continue to play. I do think he is going to continue to play him, because I think that he's got some years left, and I think Rodgers is also a very, very competitive person. I think he wants to show that he can still do this. I just don't know about the Jets, man. I don't. I know you named Tennessee. I know you named Vegas. I know Indy will obviously call, Houston will obviously call, but they're not going to really get their shot. Uh, yeah, it's really interesting because you bring up the point of the Packers saying I'm not going to trade him to an NFC team, which is very smart, obviously, right? You wouldn't want to do that. It's just there's only three teams. The Jets, Titans, Vegas, Raiders are basically the top three teams. I don't know, man. I have to see it to believe it, to be honest with you. So I really can't have a clear opinion on this. Wait and see for me. That's my saying for right now. Wait and see, because I have no idea what's about to happen with Rodgers. I know
It
I
comes down
saw.
to who's more desperate.
Yeah, I know I saw. Well, no, yes, but first it comes down, does Rodgers want to continue to play? I did see a thing where somebody was, I guess, clowning Rodgers, where it's like, hey, Rodgers, don't retire this year because you're gonna get upstaged in 2028 if you're gonna have to get inducted in the same Hall of Fame as Tom Brady. So I don't think he's thinking about that, but
And listen, I think the Jets make so much sense. And for an organization that has been pretty much a joke to a bunch of us,
yeah.
this is their best opportunity to change the narrative. You go out there, if you can get a Hall of Fame quarterback that's still playing at an MVP level, you go and get him. You do everything you can to, accommodate to all of his needs, something that the Packers, didn't always do. You do everything in your power to accommodate that guy and turn that narrative around. That J in Jets, it won't stand for the JETS won't stand for just endure the suffering anymore. It'll change. So
Just
Aaron
enjoy the success is what they'll
just enjoy the success, temporary success, because when he retires,
Yeah.
then it's
Just
back.
enjoy
When he
temporary.
retires,
Look
he's
at
going to
you
develop
guys.
Zach Wilson into a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Who is
Oh my God!
his
Stop it, John. Stop it.
model.
Please stop.
Zach
Justin, I want to
Wilson.
ask you, because you're a baseball fan. I don't know. I feel like I've heard the Baseball Hall of Fame do this. Did they? Is there a how NFL 5 years and then you can get inducted? Is there a thing in Baseball Hall of
Yeah,
Fame?
same thing.
5 years. Have they
Yeah.
ever cut that for anybody?
Not to my knowledge, I don't believe so. I mean, if there was anybody to do it for, you had Jeter, you had Mariano, who's the only unanimous vote. So if he didn't get the 5 years, Ken Griffey Jr. either, it's not happening for
Because
anybody.
I know there's a lot of people saying if there's one person that should cut the 5 year line, it's Tom Brady for them. But
I feel like that. I don't like that for the simple fact that there's so many guys like uh, Emmitt Smith is the all-time rushing leader. You got guys like Peyton Manning that really just were the face of the NFL alongside of Tom Brady. You could have stopped that then. So if you didn't do it for them, don't do it for Brady. Let Brady wait his 5 years, enjoy his time in the booth, and then we'll all looking forward to 2028 to see his Hall of Fame speech.
Tracing back here, do you guys still consider Aaron Rodgers a top 5 quarterback after this last season?
Yeah. I still think I know I texted you guys that I'm taking Tom Brady out of my top 10 quarterback rankings. And I did it last year and I'm doing it again. So Mahomes is the best quarterback now. In my eyes. I know everybody else was like, oh, he's the best now. For me,
right.
Yeah,
Sorry, Jared.
I was taking Tom no matter what. But he's the best, and I would still take. I'd take Rodgers as a second. I really would.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I think tier two is look. I've seen a lot of ridiculous takes. So like Jalen Hurts now is better than Rodgers because he has playoff success. Okay,
It's ridiculous.
stupidity. So tier one is Patrick Mahomes. Tier two is Joe Burrow, and we're gonna go in order: Joe Burrow, Josh Allen,
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert, and I thought Tom Brady was in that camp of five guys before he hung up the cleats. Tier three to me is then your Lamars, your Kylers, your Jalen Hurtses, and obviously Matthew Stafford who won a Super Bowl last
So
year.
then where do you put Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence is in that camp as well, and he's a weird case because Trevor's already proven himself as a franchise quarterback in my book. Over his development course last year, I think Trevor's going to take Tom's spot in that top six personally, the same way Justin Herbert took Andrew Luck's spot. And currently, he would be around the 9 to 10 spot. I'm above Hurts, I'm above Stafford. Thank you for reminding me there. I kind of had him in the wrong shuffleboard piece.
Yeah. No. For me, obviously, you guys know my feelings on Josh Allen. So I would still take Rodgers over Allen. And yeah, I love Burrow. I'd still take Rodgers over Burrow. So it's really Mahomes and Burrow for me are the top two quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
That's right. I wouldn't put Rodgers above them at this point. I think the way the quarterback position has changed, and then this isn't a knock on Rodgers because Rodgers, when the situation is right, he's an MVP candidate.
Mhm.
But I'd still go. I go Mahomes. I'll go Josh Allen. I'll go Burrow. I'll go Rodgers. Then I go Herbert, and then the rest of the list.
Herbert's going to be better, but, until he wins a playoff game, I'm going to put Rodgers ahead of him.
Well, he's gonna love having Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore's gonna love having him.